Hey guys, how are you this evening? Well, you know what? I'm just going to touch on this real quick because it's just something that I want everyone to be aware of. Um, the accident, I'm sure most of you heard about that in Saskatchewan, the Broncos hockey team. Um, please share with your athletes how things like this affect team, community, etc. It's such a sad thing to even talk about. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to talk about how all this comes about. Um, we entrust people to transport our children as athletes on buses, airplanes, cars, etc., especially when they go to college. And in hockey, it's a little bit different than most sports. In hockey, these kids go from all over Canada. The Broncos are amazing. They're freaking amazing club. And they develop athletes that just go professional, Olympics, etc. Okay. And all these kids go into this little town. I think there's about 7,000, 8,000 people. It's not a very big town. Carla, if you're watching, maybe comment below because Carla would know, Carla Garten and John Bartholomew. They would know. They're hockey people up there in Canada. They all come in and they stay in host homes, and they train with these teams and they develop the teams. When my daughter was at Minot State in Minot, North Carolina, in Minot, North Dakota, which is 45 minutes from Canada, a lot of Canadian players came down and played on the Minot State hockey team. Because what happens when you are playing hockey, and it's like this here in the States too, you go and play at these host areas. You go to an area that is hosting you and to this club. The club develops you then to either play onto the college, AAA, professional level. So it's a whole different gambit. So it's not, the loss was terrible. The losses just can't even speak of. But the team, the aspect, the club, the loss there is just unbelievable. Remember and respect what's important and why it's so important that our athletes that play on team sports and why they're so important. Team sports is an amazing thing for any young athlete, male, female, golf, hockey, baseball, volleyball, football, any sport is pretty amazing. One thing I found, I was online and I was looking around and I found something I thought was pretty interesting. And it is just what is benefits when you are on a team. And I thought it was pretty interesting. Very first thing, of course, is about obesity. We know that's such a big thing. I mean, we talk about that all the time. That's what helps obesity, helps people keep in shape. That's a number one for a reason. I love this one. There is no I in team. When something happens to the team, it happens to everyone, not just the one person on the team. And I really hope that as parents, you realize that when things happen to that team member, be it maybe even a grandparent passes or something passes, it affects one person, it affects the team, because the teams are that strong. And they're that strong when they get to college. Your athlete, your young athlete has to be ready to be member of a team. This is not an I situation when you go to college. When you go to college, you are there to work together for the betterment of the team, not of the single athlete. That team then is the betterment of the college and more attracting to the college. So it's not that you're just there to have a great volleyball game and get the kills or get your aces or hit the home run. It's about how you represent as a team. It's no longer just about I. I think that's so important to remember. I also love the next one here, respect. Oh, wow. The respect that you give to your coaches and teammates is so important. It is freaking crazy. The reason why so many people are rallying around the Broncos, yes, because it was a tragic death of all those 15 people. Yes, that's true. But the respect that community has brought from that team and who they have developed That's what people are feeling. So you have to remember when you're talking with your athlete, the respect that they show the other players, the respect they show their collegiate coaches, the respect they show the people that are watching the game. If you are in the stands and you have a teammate out there that is being a bully or can't handle a loss, that's the worst kind of team to watch. You have to have respect for yourself, your team, your coaches, your school, if you plan on representing it while you're in college. And also while you're in high school. If you're being recruited, you better be sure. You better be dang sure. One of the main things a coach is watching is how you respect yourself, your parents, yes, your parents, your high school coach, your club coach, your players, because respect cannot be something that is learned. It is something that you have earned, and you have earned it over time. And you, as a person, if you respect yourself, you will respect others. Simple as that. And the other thing that's really important, I thought was really good, is time management. You don't know how many times that you have to go to practice, work out, go to the weight room, maybe get to an early practice, maybe you have 2-a-days, plus a personal, and then maybe you have a team just for your position. You have to know how to do time management. Plus, guess what? You got to go to college. It's crazy, right? You got to go to college. So you got to remember that to get there, even in high school, the best thing for you to learn in high school while you are a junior and senior is to go ahead and take the time and do the things. When you do your 2-a-days, when you do your extra practices or your individuals, use that time to manage that, so you know when you get into college that you've mastered the time management that you've done your junior and senior year in high school, that when you go into college as a freshman, because a freshman is the scariest year, you've mastered your time management. You got it under control. Time management will make or break you. It will make you a better player, a better teammate, a better athlete. It will break you if you can't figure out your time management to keep all that together to get your better grades. Remember that one, because it's really, really important. Also, it helps you off the field. When you are a athlete, I know there's a young kid that they were showing. You just gotta love all these advertisements, right? When you are an athlete, one of the biggest things is your grades. If you don't have the right grades, you can't play. You're not going to be eligible. If you're not eligible, then you're not a valuable person to the team, and they don't need you. It comes down to that. So if you go, and in fact, I was meeting with a parent earlier today. We were sitting there. Her son is at college already, and he was not told about how he get scholarships. He ended up playing football. So now he's working on his second year going into play football. The mom said, so many kids have been cut because they didn't make the grade. Why is that? And then I had to explain to her why that was, that you are there at college to go to college, and you are in high school to go to high school. Yes, it's a benefit that you are a team player, a football player, basketball player, lacrosse, whatever it might be, but it is ultimately about your grades. So this person was talking to me. It is a D2 college, Mount Union in Ohio, and 4 of the players were cut from the team because of their grades. They lost scholarships. How sad is that? So right now, it's April. Okay, April is the time that the coach will pull you in and talk about how your progress has gone, except for like if you're in track and you got sports going on now, or whatever sports going on now, usually not done then. But your fall and your winter sports are brought in usually in April and talked about how you've contributed to the team, if you're an asset, if they're going to keep you, if they're going to offer you more, etc. So just think about it this way. If you are going in to review if they're going to keep you or not, and let's say you're on the cusp, let's say there's 2 quarterbacks, one's doing really well, getting a 4.0, the other quarterback is getting a 1.8, and this guy asked for more money, but this guy's not doing really well. As a college coach, I might say, you know what, you're doing really well, you're really trying hard, you're getting a great GPA. This guy, I'm going to cut some of his money and give it over here. Yeah, they can do that. And they do that. So GPA is just as important in college as it is in high school. So stay on top of that, because that can make or break it. One of the best things about sports, though, as we already know, it's a stress reliever. wow, boy, all these commercials just keep popping up. I'm on Google, can you tell? All the commercials keep popping up. It is a stress reliever, and that is such a great thing, because if you're having a hard time studying for these tests and you can't get it together, you know, for you to go work out, as you already know, it's a great stress relief, for college and for high school both, which is really a great thing. And the other thing, winning isn't everything. I know that sometimes we feel that winning isn't everything, and I know that it's not. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Um, I know that winning is not everything, but in college, it is everything. I do get it, but it is really how you play the game. If you play the game well and you do well, then you will excel. Winning isn't everything, as in the points of the game. I guess it's kind of hard to explain. Winning isn't everything for you as a person, as long as you did your best and you tried your hardest. If your team is not succeeding, then yes, winning is everything, because your team's not succeeding. But it has to be a twofold thing that you're looking at. So that's why I want to make sure you kind of understand that. Winning is not everything if you can't be a participant in that game. If that makes any sense to you, I hope it sure does. Winning is everything when you are a participant and you are playing for a team, especially at a college, when winning is part of the whole thing. They are paying you to play. If they're paying you to play, they're expecting you to win. That's kind of simple as that, guys. And if you can't win, they're expecting you to do the best thing you can out there, which is try your best, which is winning isn't everything. So when you're in college, they're paying you to play. You got to pay to play. You got to go out there and do your job, which is to play. When you're in high school, sometimes you can't really control a lot of that, because in high school, you have all these kids from all different areas, all different levels come in, and maybe you're not a team that is able to win because of whatever talent, let's just say, because you don't have it, because it's just not there. But you gave it everything. You tried. You didn't throw in the towel. You didn't say, oh my gosh, what a terrible team. Well, with that being said, that's where people look at that and say, wow, winning isn't everything. That is so true. But what it is, it's really important. It's really important that you go ahead and hang on here, guys. I'm trying to get off the stop sharing. There we go. It's really important that you give your all, and you give your all for your team and for yourself, of course. All right. So basically, I just want to touch on a few of those things. I want you all just to say some quick thoughts, for the Broncos. Again, a terrible tragedy. But if we can learn from this is that teams are special. Teams are people that you grow to love and to learn and grow from, and utilize that for that. It's just so important. I know that in Canada, hockey is strong. They will all come together as a strength. But remember that moms, dads, kids, when you're out there with a college or a team, you are actually out there, working together as a team. So when tragedy happens, you have to all come together. They all travel, moms, dads. They all travel when they're in college. You have to respect, trust your team. They know what the best thing is to do. You can't coddle your kid. You can't take them to the games yourself. You can't fly them to the games yourself. You have to trust your kid making the best choice. They will. They really will. People in Canada, Saskatchewan, it's hard to say that for me, but my thoughts are with you guys. Take care. Have a good evening, guys. See you tomorrow night.